So I sent a meme to my friend one night, and he and I started talking about things we were never allowed to watch as a kid, like Star Wars The Clone Wars or SpongeBob, things like that our parents thought were bad influences on us. And one thing led to another, and we brought up The Princess and the Frog. Obviously I wasn't really the target audience, so I never really saw it. But he was talking about it because he was never allowed to watch it because it had voodoo in it and stuff. As a result, I decided to look it up and watch it that night, and I had a pretty good time watching it. And here are my thoughts on the film.
What you two gawking at?
This is easily one of the greatest fucking Disney movies out there, and not just in the princess category. I think it's probably the second greatest of all time next to Brave. It's also one of my all-time favorite black people movies ever since Nope came out. Princess and the Frog is a pretty typical story about two people from different worlds that have to learn to get along with each other in order to get back home and achieve a common goal. You know, wow, so creative, we definitely haven't seen that before. The main villain and the reason why my friend wasn't allowed to watch it as a kid is actually pretty cool, and I think he's a really cool addition to the Disney villains that nobody really talks about. And I mean, come on, it is Keith David voicing the main villain, so what's not to like?
Ramirez, get the fuck over the room!
I love the music choice. I'm not typically a fan of musicals, and I think it can sometimes draw on and get annoying, but there wasn't a single song in this movie I didn't like. All in all, this movie has a kind of magic to it because it's sort of a forgotten film because it came out in between two bigger films that people tend to like more. One thing that always stuck out to me was the death of the villain. He had a very gruesome death, all things considered. It wasn't necessarily bloody, but he was dragged off to hell, which is something that always stuck with me considering how intense and flashy the end scene was. Even as a little kid, I wondered, is this allowed? All that being said, this is not a bad Disney movie by any means. I think it is pretty underrated and more or less forgotten, but I am glad to see that at least a handful of people remember it. And that's about it. See ya.
No, you don't. He's about to come, bro. I am about to come!